And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. The Raiders have the ball back, and here comes Davante Adams to the field again. He's up near 100 yards now here in the second quarter, but his team's down.
Through no fault of his own. I mean, what a nice game he's having so far. They've got to keep finding ways to get him the football. Don't get away from that. Figure out where things are going wrong with the rest of the team.
He'll be hoping to hit that 100-yard mark on this drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Out of the gun is Minshew. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa, his second sack of the night. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Third and 12. He'll look to throw. Shakes off the sack. Now Minshew has it knocked out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 95 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Purdy. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Juwan Jennings. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now Moody for the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Short throw caught by Bowers. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Christian McCaffrey and his 49er teammates back onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 107 yards now for McCaffrey. It's a 1st down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. Well, they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. McCaffrey following the penalty. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That play over before it got anywhere thanks to Christian Wilkins.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Purdy looking to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's Mitch Wisnowski now on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Abdullah to return. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to... Hold on to that one. It's second down. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. It's Jair Brown who's got it.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Off the option, here's McCaffrey. And some room to roam now. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 124 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. They run with McCaffrey off the option. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. Gets this one to use check. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And a nice job by the 2 of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
This is 2nd and 8. Back to throw. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. The Raiders on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll set up to throw. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 34-yard line. Minshew, 1st and 10. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues, and the chains move again. Again, Minshew looking to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunt. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right on the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Hunt will take this one in for a Vegas touchdown.
Sometimes offense, if you get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Wilson now to add the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Operating from the gun, Purdy. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Short throw caught by Bowers, and he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 2nd and a couple. They'll look to throw here. He's going to find Gallup here complete. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Very quick throw. He's got Myers. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. It'll be Minshew again. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw again. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Week 3 of the preseason is here. Everyone wrapping up their exhibition schedule. No games for the league on Labor Day weekend. And then it all begins. The 17-game regular season gets underway on the Thursday after Labor Day with the NFL kickoff game. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive. Something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss. Looking to throw. Purdy. And that's going to be incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He hits Adams complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Bowers. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's a handoff to Hunt running left. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. He's still having trouble moving the ball on the ground.
Yeah, so much for halftime adjustment. Sometimes the best adjustment you make is no adjustment. You just do things better. But in this case, I think an adjustment was in order. They may have to change up and start throwing the ball around a little bit more.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
The slant connects with Devontae Adams. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Open man is Myers. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now a handoff. Hunt's going to run left. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting unit's still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. Looking to throw it. Minshew. That is caught. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up first and goal.
They're going to look to throw. Pass complete right side to Bowers. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. A carry here for the big tight end. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Michael Mayer, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter. That has them an extra point away from tying things up.
And partner, this is pretty much what they envisioned when they were sitting there in the locker room thinking about getting things going to start here in the third quarter. Getting out there, a field goal would have been fine. But going ahead and scoring here, an extra point away from tying things up, that's exactly how they drew it up on the board.
Carlson on for the PAT. And that will tie our game here in the third quarter. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action here. Purdy. He'll buy some time right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 2nd and 10. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
3rd down and 6. Here's Purdy. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
First down, here's Mitchell. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Now a good job shifting right, finding his target. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it makes it third down and 2 yards to go.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
So here. First and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
A false start backs him up 5. First and 15. Purdy going to give it to Garendo. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's second and 8 now.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Shotgun now with Purdy. Throwing middle, and it's complete. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Purdy from the gun on third down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try and go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. Back to Deebo Samuel for consecutive catches. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Mitchell. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Elijah Mitchell ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the 49ers have taken the lead.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point try now for Moody. And they will take a 7-point lead now. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays. Run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd down, Minshew. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here's Minshew. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3-and-out.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Got his man, and that's the rookie fourth-round pick. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Mitchell. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Flushed out right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. Now Samuel. And pretty good pursuit there defensively. He's brought down, no gain on the play. 2nd down coming up. Robert Spillane able to bring him down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. First down throw, O'Connell. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down. Off the play fake, here's O'Connell. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, O'Connell. He goes underneath to Abdullah. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. He'll look to set up his blockers. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the 49ers settling in for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start with a run by Mitchell. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Dobbs' throw caught by Gray. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 3rd down, here's Mitchell. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On 1st and 10, Dobbs. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Now Dobbs. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. On play action, it's Dobbs. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Down at the 33. Mitchell now off the option. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 15-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And he's going to handle it on the touch pass. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown from 6 yards away. And the 49ers have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play, partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's open like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A throw down the field, caught by his running back. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And O'Connell now to throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's O'Connell. Open man is Tucker. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. Now O'Connell. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
An option give now to Mitchell. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Here's a 2nd and 8. Back to throw Dobbs. And his throw is incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Now Dobbs. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Raiders offense ready to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Throwing, O'Connell. That's caught by the tight end, Harrison Bryant. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Sticking to the air with O'Connell here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 48 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Dancing to his left. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Throwing on first down, O'Connell. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now it's O'Connell. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Back to throw, O'Connell. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. And the Niners are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Good starting field position. For them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. Dobbs. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's O'Connell looking to throw it. There's a short throw taken in by Bryant. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Throw left side, pulled in by Tucker. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. To throw here, O'Connell. That's to the Notre Dame man, Michael Mayer. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down. Finding room at midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. And they're going to speed things up here. And once again, O'Connell back to throw. The pass taken in by Mayer. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Christian Wilkerson, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And that will cut this lead down to 13. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Here's 2nd and 3. And they'll go on the ground. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they will take a knee here. Under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Las Vegas.
This is the development trait. Superstar and super. This is the abilities tab. Here you can see what abilities a player has.